243 Outdoors. This is Josh. Well, today I want to make a full review on my Ruger American Predator and 6.5 Creedmoor. I bought it about 4 months ago. I've been shooting it for almost 3 months, and I've really put it through the paces. I've done a pretty thorough examination on it of what it can do, and I'll let you know right now I'm very impressed with it. I purchased this rifle on November the 11th. That's the day I brought it home. I paid $386 at my local gun shop for it, and I think that's just a bargain of a price. These have been found anywhere from $350 to $450. They're actually in pretty high demand right now. People are having a little bit of a hard time finding them because the word's getting out how good a rifle these are. I've really put this through the paces. I've got a few notes here. To date, I've shot 585 rounds through this rifle. I've shot 100 rounds of factory 140 Hornady ELD, and then I've shot 20 rounds of 120 AMAX. Everything else has been my hand loads with H4350 and the 140 ELD bullets. The ELD bullets are starting to become very hard to find right now. I'm actually just about out of them, and also the H4350 is almost nearly impossible to find. I lucked into a couple pounds a few weeks ago, but I've already about went through it. I've got, I think, 1 pound I haven't opened yet, but the first one's just about gone. First thing I did when I got the rifle was there's a few modifications about everybody does. The stock's kind of cheaply made, and it also touches the barrel a little bit. The barrel's advertised as a free-floating barrel. I took a Dremel and I trimmed it back a little bit where you can take a piece of paper and run it all the way to the barrel nut. I got some Bondo fiberglass, and the inside of the stock from here all the way up just right to the barrel nut, I filled all the voids with fiberglass and sanded it all smooth, and it turned out pretty nice. It looks pretty good. I also added some lead weight to the back of the stock. I took the butt plate off, and then I've added some shop rags to kind of hold it in place, and that's worked real well. It stiffened the stock up, and it made the stock feel a lot better. Really, the biggest downfall of this rifle is the stock. It's just cheaply made. If Ruger would have put a wood stock or just put a little more effort into the stock, they'd hit a home run with this rifle, which they've done a good job. Don't get me wrong. For the price point of what it is and what it can do, you can't go wrong with this rifle. Another thing I've done to it was I worked on the trigger a little bit. They also make a aftermarket, I believe it's a Timney trigger, but I didn't see that was necessary. These triggers are adjustable from 3 to 5 pounds from the factory, and that's good for a hunting rifle. You don't want it too light, and you don't want it any more than 5 pounds. It's just anything over 5 pounds is really just, it's so hard to pull, and your accuracy really suffers. You can take these triggers apart and trim back the spring about 1.5 coils. Some people remove it and put a different spring in, but I just shortened the spring just a little bit. Also took the trigger apart, and I took a Dremel that has a polishing bit and polished the surfaces up. I don't have a trigger gauge, but by hanging weight off the trigger, I had it starting to break at 2.25 pounds, and that's pretty accurate. It feels about what it is. It's a very decent trigger for what you get. I have a Savage with an AccuTrigger, and I believe the Savage is just a little bit better trigger, but it's not much. I can feel a little bit of creep in that, and that polishing took a lot of that out. To pay the extra money to buy an aftermarket trigger, I think you'd really be wasting your money with this rifle. One thing that you really want to do when you get this rifle is to take a torque wrench, such as a fat wrench or something, and check all your action screws. The screws down here, you need to get them to a consistent torque if you take it apart. And you also want to check your base up here, because these sometimes can be super tight and sometimes they can be loose. One other feature I added to it was a Matthews Fabrication cheek rest. The scope just seems a little bit high for me, and Matthew reached out and commented on one of my videos, and then I realized he had a store that sold these cheek pieces, and I ordered one, and I'm very happy with it. It's helped my accuracy quite a bit. It puts your head in the same position every shot for a perfect sight picture. I didn't really understand a whole lot about sight pictures and scopes. I pretty much thought if the crosshairs were on, you were on. And basically at shorter ranges, it doesn't matter. You're talking maybe 1/8, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch at the most. But when you stretch out to 1,000 yards, just the slightest difference in your head being up or down is actually feet in difference. The first time I took it out, I shot some of my best groups with the rifle, and I'm very impressed with it. It has the threaded barrel. I do like that. I have the TacFire TPI compact muzzle brake on it. One other modification I'd done to the rifle was I slicked up the bolt. The bolt has quite a bit of machining marks from the factory. It kind of sounds like a zipper when you run it, and I took a Dremel with a polishing bit, and I had some, it was some sort of polishing compound I used with it, and I really slicked this bolt up pretty good. It could probably actually be a little bit better, but it's just night and day difference than it was. I'm not really knocking Ruger for that, because it don't really hurt with the performance of the rifle. It's more of annoying, but when I started adding my optic, I started with these 30mm Burris rings. These are medium height rings. I really like this style of ring. They have the 6 screw caps on the top. They mount very good. They're a very solid ring. I have them on another rifle, and I was real impressed with them. The scope I used is the Sightron S3. This is a very nice optic. I don't have a lot of experience with higher end optics. From the $50 to $150 range, I've had several, and they're good optics. I've had some good, really cheap ones, $50 ones, and I've had some terrible ones that are, there's one over here that's, it wasn't even worth bringing home. Before I bought this rifle, I had about a $1,500 budget I wanted to spend, and I was really looking at the Savage Stealth and 6.5 Creedmoor, and that rifle would have run me about $1,000, and then I had about $500 to spend on an optic. And after watching a lot of YouTube videos and reviews, I really decided that this Ruger American Predator would probably suit me a little bit better, and I'd have a little bit more money to spend on an optic. So the Sightron S3 is what I chose. It's a 6 to 24 by 50 scope. It has 100 MOA of adjustment, and it is amazing scope. It is crystal clear. The adjustments are very precise, right on the money. You move it 4 clicks for an inch at 100 yards, and it moves an inch at 100 yards. I've took this rifle out to 1 mile. I've got on target 3 different times at 1 mile. I've shot excellent groups with this rifle. Visibility and clarity is there. After getting the rifle, I started slowly stretching it out. I got it zeroed, and then I set my range up. I believe I had a 500, a 600, a 750, and then I put a 1,000-yard target up. The first time I stretched this rifle out to 1,000 yards, I shot 10 rounds and got 9 on target. I actually shot a 6-shot group that day at 1,000 yards that measured 11 and 7/8 inches, and that's just amazing. Just slightly over 1 MOA at 1,000 yards. Almost every group that I've shot with this rifle at 100 yards has been an inch or greater. It took about 50 to 75 rounds to really break this rifle in. It was shooting an inch to inch and a half, some early, but after that it basically settled in at sub MOA. A lot of hand loads have been between a 1/2 inch and an inch. I've got several under a 1/2 inch. This rifle has 585 rounds through it, and the last group I shot, well, 1 week ago was .395 inches at 100 yards, 4-shot group, basically one hole, one big hole, and that's just crazy. I've never cleaned this rifle, not even when it was new. I inspected the bore after it was new just to make sure there was no obstructions, and all I've done is shot it. There's different ideas on breaking in a barrel. I did not get the barrel hot after I first got it. I would shoot maybe 4 to 5 rounds at a time and give it a cool down time, and I just wanted to send rounds through it, but I did not want to get it hot, and that seemed to work real well because it's still shooting excellent. As far as some of the groups this gun shot, I'll show you some pictures of them. 100-yard groups, like I said, .395 was my best group. I've had several 1/2 inch groups. 300 yards, as far as measuring and video and pictures, I did a 4-shot group that measured 3 inches. That same day I was shooting 500 yards. I shot a 4-shot group that measured 2 1/8, and that's sub 1/2 MOA. 500 yards, I mean, you just don't get any better than that. At 750 yards, I had a 4-shot group that measured 6 7/8. That's my best one at 750. Originally set up a 1,000-yard target, and then I moved it back to 1,200, and I didn't mark my spot. And when I set it back up, I'm right back at about 950 yards. I've shot a 8-inch group. It was a 3-shot group. I actually done that last Monday at 950 yards. And I also had a 4-shot group a while back that measured 11 1/8 inches. The 1,000 yards, I believe it was the first time I shot 1,000 yards. I had a 6-shot group that measured 11 7/8 inches. And then the only other measurable group is I had 4 shots that hit in a row at 1,400 yards, and they measured 15 7/8 inches out to 1,400 yards, just over 1 MOA. I've got 3 successful hits at 1 mile. The mile was a little bit of a challenge for me because condition-wise, between wind and the ground was kind of muddy and moist, and I wasn't kicking up a lot of dust on my misses. And I was relying on a video camera to be my spotter. Basically, I would review the footage and then take the info back and apply it. It took about 4 or 5 different outings to get my first hit of the mile, but once I did, my elevation I had it pretty much figured out at 95 MOA, give or take just a little bit, but my windage would always be a little bit different. It finally really dried up one day, and I thought I'd send a few at a mile, and I could see my hits, and I got on target on my 4th shot. I actually only had four shells left. I was doing a little filming that day, and I had 4 rounds left, so I thought, why not? I'm gonna send them at a mile. The camera was still running. I didn't have a target cam set up, and I knew instantly I hit it. I mean, it's just amazing to see that, and that feeling, the adrenaline. Your heart rate's just about to go through the roof because you just made a shot at a mile. And that is a hit at a mile, guarantee you. I went and moved my target cam back there, and I opened up a new batch of ammo I just made, and I shot a few more rounds. I don't remember how many it was, and I got a second shot on target, and 2 in 1 outing. So that one probably hit. Will this gun shoot a mile? Absolutely. If you had a spotter with a good spotting scope calling the wind for you, no reason why you shouldn't hit several at a mile. The stock base got me out to 1,200 yards, and then I added the Evolution Gunworks 20 MOA base. Here's the package. Here's the package that came in. It's got my old stock base in it. Adding this to my scope added another 20 MOA. I could dial 42 minutes originally with the scope, which that got me out to 1,200 yards, and then the 20 MOA base got where I could dial 62 minutes, and that got me out to 1,400 yards. After that, I'd run out of elevation, and I upgraded to the Burris signature rings. There's a video I done a while back on these. These are very nice, high-quality rings. I will recommend them. They're not hardly any more money than the regular 30mm rings. You might as well probably just start out with these if you're looking to do any long-range shooting. After putting these rings on, my scope is able to dial 98 minutes, and that's just insane. You can have a 100-yard zero and dial up a mile, and there's no holdovers. It'll do it every time. So basically, I got 2 downfalls with this rifle. One being the stock. There are a couple options you can do with that. You can do like I did, fiberglass it up, add some weight, stiffen it up, and you can get by. And that's what I done. I didn't want to spend much money on it. You can also get a Boyd stock. There are several different Boyd's wooden stock. There's laminate stocks, thumb hole stocks, adjustable cheek piece stocks, and there's also the MDT LSS chassis system, which I'm kind of interested in this. It might be something I might look into towards the end of the year, maybe before next year. The chassis kind of seems like the way to go. The chassis would be a big improvement on this rifle. It would eliminate all the flex in it. The second thing that I really dislike about this rifle is the magazine. It is a very cheaply made plastic magazine. It works, and I have not had much trouble with it. I've trimmed it back a little bit to help it feed a little better. I like loading my rounds absolutely to the max that'll fit in this, and I've had a few hang up, and that's my fault for loading them that long. If I kept them just a little bit shorter, the feeding would be all right. The biggest thing is I'd love to have a 10-round magazine for this. Shooting 4 rounds at a time, it's just kind of a hassle. I typically like to shoot 5-round groups, and with this magazine, this gun, I've pretty much just shot 4-round groups. I put 4 rounds in it and I shoot. Occasionally I'll stick a 5th one plus 1 in it, or depending on how much ammo I have. I've done some 3-shot groups, but I don't believe 3-shot groups give you really the information you need. The barrel being 22-inch medium profile, it's really a good barrel. It does heat up a little bit faster than a bull barrel, and it seems like the rounds start going low after you shoot for a while and heat it up. I haven't really got the barrel super hot. The last 3 or 4 times I've been out, I've been pushing it a little bit harder, running, I don't know, 25, 35, 40 rounds at a time, and watching on the camera, watching on the hits, once it warms up, they start going low. So on this rifle, I've been keeping a lot of notes on. I'm actually a little bit behind. I got enough right now that give me all the info I basically need. I have info from 100 yards all the way out to the 1 mile, different dials, temperatures, wind conditions. I can always reference back to this. I have a lot of my load data that when I was developing hand loads. I may do some more load development later once some more bullets become available. There's actually a heavier ELD bullet that I'd like to try, and I may even try some different powders because this H43 is just impossible to find right now. A lot of people's having good luck with Reloader 17, and I believe I can probably find some of that. I've seen some in some stores. Overall, this rifle, I'm going to rank it a 9 out of 10. I'm going to dock it a point for the stock and the magazine. Everything else I'm very happy with. This is a budget rifle, you got to remember. It's $400. I mean, and you're getting accuracy out to 1 mile with a $400 rifle. I mean, how many guns can you say you can do that with? I do have a total of about $1,500 in this rifle. I bought 2 sets of rings. If I'd include that first set of rings, I'm about $1,600, but I won't. So I believe I was crunching the numbers the other day, and I think I was at $1,510 on this entire rifle. The bipod and the sling come off another gun, but everything you see there, the majority of the budget went to the scope, and I'm really glad it did. This seems to be a very good piece of glass. So some final thoughts on this rifle. Do you need it? Yes. This rifle will suit just about every need out there. It'd be an excellent hunting rifle. This 6.5 caliber is large enough to take deer. It'd be an excellent predator rifle, such as coyote and foxes or whatever's legal to hunt in your area. It's a great target rifle as far as just a bench gun. That's all I use it for. I really don't do much hunting anymore. I do just a little bit of coyote hunting. The aftermarket support for this rifle is pretty good. There seems to be lots of products for it, and there's actually more stuff coming out for it every day. This is a very good rifle, and people need to know it. You really don't need to spend a ton of money to get out to shoot. This rifle will do everything that you can do, basically out to a mile. I mean, there's no need of buying a $1,000 gun unless you want a $1,000 gun. There's a lot of custom builds out there, but I tell you what, this will run with them. It really will run with them. I've impressed a lot of people with this rifle. It's just been an amazing rifle. It's been a fun build, working up to where I am now with it. I bought it with the intention of shooting a mile. Right after I got it, I was thinking, boy, that's going to be a tough challenge. And slowly working my way out, 1,000 yards, 1,200 yards, 1,400 yards. I was like, I can do it. And before you know it, I did. If you want to check out my channel, 243 Outdoors, if you check the video playlist, you can see my progress as I go. I start with the first video of bringing it home and talking about it, and then I slowly build it up. There's tons of videos on this. If you have any comments or questions, please ask them. There's a Ruger American page on Facebook I'm pretty active on. There's a lot of good people on there with a lot of good information. There are tons of these rifles out there, and basically every scope, ring combination, stock combination, it's been done. Last checked, I don't even remember, there's 6,000 members on this page. It's just an amazing page. Thank everybody for watching, and we will catch you later.